let me share some things, and this is why it's so frustrating. For me, at least, it's so frustrating, and I know it is for you as well. The things that we have talked about, and this is why they're now talking about shutting us down in any way. This is why I say our time is limited. Because the things that we have told you are now all coming true, and they're starting to admit it. We told you that these are Marxist revolutionaries. We told you that the president had all of these revolutionaries surrounding him. No one would respond. No one ever has responded to this. When we say that Ron Bloom is a guy who doesn't believe in the free market system and is a Marxist, is a guy who says we believe that power comes from the barrel of the gun, we generally agree with Mao on that. No one has ever asked for a response there. No one has ever gotten a response. When we've asked the president, Mr. President, which is it? Which is it, sir? Do you want to fire Van Jones because he was a 9/11 truther? He was a communist radical. He was a revolutionary. Do you want to fire him because of that? Or do you agree with those things? Well, we don't get an answer. Jeremiah Wright, do you agree with those things? He, of course, says no. He's now only in the mood of mocking. And that's what they have done. If you watch my television program and then you listen to the people who are talking about me, they never, ever address the issue. They'll make fun of my chalkboard. They'll make fun of my hair. They'll make fun of my stance. They'll make fun of my crying. They'll make fun of everything. They will mock me or belittle me. Fine. But do you notice they never take on what I say? They never try. Nobody has tried to take what I say and debunk it. If I was wrong and I was this wrong, why wouldn't ABC News do a whole night special and put me out of business? When I have the White House go meet at the highest levels of Fox News, and they say Glenn Beck is making stuff up, he's lying. And when Fox News responds in these meetings, tell us, give us a list. We'll correct them. Where is he wrong? Where is he lying? After one solid year of broadcast time, they came up with one. That I said Van Jones was a felon. He wasn't a felon. He just went to jail. Nothing else. Now, what was the charge? What was the charge on health care? The charge on health care was Glenn Beck is crazy. He says this is a socialist scheme. He says this is redistribution of wealth, that this has nothing to do with health care, that it has everything to do with money and power. How many times did I say that? This is socialism. This is the fundamental. Do not let this pass because this is structure. How many times? This is the fundamental transformation. You can't vote for this bill because you don't know what's in this bill. And what I mean by that, and what I've been saying for the last year, is they're building a machine. This has nothing to do with what they tell you it does. I was crazy. I was wrong. I was a danger to society. From the New York Times. In health bill, Obama attacks wealth inequality. Now, what is wealth inequality? Redistribution of wealth. What is redistribution of wealth? Marxism. Wealth inequality. Some people have too much. Some people don't have any. Take it from them. Give it to those people. Got it? Redistribution of wealth. The happy term today is socialism. Quoting New York Times, for all the political and economic uncertainties about health reform, at least one thing now seems clear. The bill that President Obama signed on Tuesday is the federal government's biggest attack on economic inequality since inequality began rising more than 30 years ago. Over most of that period, government policy and market forces have been moving in the same direction, both increasing wealth inequality. Nearly every major aspect of this bill pushes in the other direction. This fact helps explain why Mr. Obama was willing to spend so much political capital on an issue, even though it did not appear to be his top priority as a presidential candidate. Leveling the playing field, Marxism, the moment with Joe the plumber was his campaign promise. That is the fundamental transformation that he promised. It's in the New York Times today, except they don't call it redistribution of wealth because that's no longer politically correct. It's now wealth inequality. Do we have the Max Baucus audio? Here's now new audio. This is from a quote-unquote centrist. This is a Democrat senator from Montana. When you lose the West to wealth inequality, you're going to hear a word that I haven't heard except out of the mouth of Jim Wallace. I had never heard maldistribution, wealth maldistribution before. In the special you will hear on the Insider Extreme today, and 2 days ago, I said it on the air, I had never heard wealth maldistribution before. Listen now to the mouth of Montana, Max Baucus.
This is also an income shift. It's a shift, it's a leveling to help lower income, middle income Americans. Too often, a bunch of late, the last couple, 3 years, the maldistribution of income in America has gone up way too much. The wealthy are getting
maldistribution.
way too wealthy. And the middle income class is left behind.
Wow.
Wages have not kept up with the increased income of the highest income Americans. Wow. This legislation will have the effect of addressing that maldistribution of income in America, because health care is now a right for all Americans, and because health care is now affordable.
I thought this was about health care.
Americans.
I thought this was about health care. I thought all this was about health care. That's what I was crazy. I was a madman. I was wrong. I was a danger to society because I told you this wasn't about health care. This was about redistribution of wealth. This, in the words of the president, reparations don't go far enough. Quoting, reparations don't go far enough. What he said in that same article in USA Today during the election, where the headline was, he's not for reparations. That was the headline. President Barack Obama, not for reparations. You got to the last paragraph, and he said it didn't go far enough. You needed health care and universal education. What did you get this week? Health care and universal education. We're all socialists now. Do you notice that up until we really started gaining traction, the media was saying that they were socialist. The media was saying, we're all socialists now. And then when we started gaining traction and the Tea Party started, and people said, I don't want any of your socialist stuff. The media then started to mock people who said we were socialists. They first announced that we are all socialists and then mocked people who said we're going towards socialism. The game is rigged against us, gang. It has been coming for a very, very long time. The people involved are treacherous. Just treacherous. They will stop at nothing. They are radical revolutionaries.